Good morning, you guys. In case you're not aware, today is my birthday, but I won't mention it. Like I totally won't talk about it. Okay, just throwing it out there. See if you can pause the video. Do number one yourselves. So this guy is like a minus b whole square. Okay, so it has three terms. Okay, let me show you how to do this in case you've forgotten. What's 3x squared times 3x squared? So that's 9x4. That's your first term. For your middle term, we multiply these three numbers. What's 3 times negative 4? Negative 12 times 2, negative 24, and we write down the two terms in terms of variables, x squared and then radical x. And then finally, what's negative 4 radical x times negative 4 radical x? Careful. So it'll be positive 16, and then radical x times radical x is just x. We're not finished. In the middle, we can actually simplify that using exponent rules. Radical x, remember, is just x 1/2. What do we do when you multiply monomials with the same base? We should add powers. So that's just 2 plus 1/2. You can use the fraction trick. Check if your final answer is 2 times 2 is 4, plus the 1 is 5. So x to the power of 5 over 2, 5 halves, the denominator, plus 16x. That's your answer. Okay, let's go to question number 2, please. You can pause the video, attempt it yourselves. So it's a rational expression. It says 4 over 3x minus 12x over 5. How do we always do these kind of questions? We take LCMs. So your LCM is 3x times 5. There's nothing in common. It's just 15x. So I need a 15x. I have a 3x in the front. So it should be multiplied by 5, then top also. I need a 15x. I have a 5 here in the second bottom denominator. So multiply by 3x. Okay, now you can simplify. 5 times 4 is 20. Okay. Minus 36x squared. Now careful, it's not in standard form, so I'll rewrite it. So negative 36x squared plus 20 over 15x. What could I do next step? We could take out a negative 4. Okay, what will come inside then? 9x squared minus 5. What's your signs? All over 15x. And then what does this guy remind you of? Difference of squares. So absolute final answer, it's negative 4 into square root. So it's 3x minus radical 5 and then 3x plus radical 5. So even if the 5 is not a perfect square, we can use radicals and write it, because 5 after all is radical 5 square, correct? So that's your final answer. Let's do 3 together. You can pause the video. Try 3 yourselves. Otherwise, it says find the x-intercepts. How do we always find the x-intercepts? We said the function, we said y, which is this guy, equal to 0. So we have negative 3x4 plus 8x cubed minus 4x squared equal to 0. Next step, what could I do? You could take out a negative. If the leading term has a negative, you must take it out. And then x squared. Okay, what's your signs? What comes inside? 3x squared minus 8x plus 4. Okay, what should we do now? Magic x for the inside quadratic. I need two numbers and multiply to 12, and they should add up to the middle guy, negative 8. Get your signs right. So they should multiply to positive 12, but add up to negative 8. Check if we get negative 6 and negative 2, or the other way around. So negative x squared drops down. So we can write this as x minus 6 over the 3, and then x minus the 2 over the 3, okay, equal to 0. This will just become 2, 6 over 3. And then we can use a fraction trick here. So negative x squared x minus 2, and then 3x minus 2 equal to 0. Now we can use zero product property. Therefore, x squared is 0, so x will become 0. X minus 2 is equal to 0, so x equals 2. And then 3x minus 2 equals 0, therefore x equals 2/3. Okay, check if we got that. Okay, let's go to number 4, please. So it's a rational equation. So when you have a rational equation, you want to clear the denominator. Okay. Method 1 is you can just simply cross multiply if you want, but I don't like it. Okay. I like to take LCMs and clear the denominator. So LCM is, we can use parentheses here. There's nothing in common. So the LCM is nothing but 2 minus x and then x plus 1. So I'm going to multiply every term by that. So on the left side and the right side to clear the fraction. So observe how I do this. So times 2 minus x times x plus 1. I'll do the same thing here. 2 minus x times x plus 1. Okay. Whoa, the denominator here cancels. So it's clearing the denominator. And then x plus 1 will cancel that x plus 1. Rewriting is your friend. So basically it is 2x times x plus 1 equals 4 times 2 minus x. Okay. So we can distribute. You get 2x squared plus 2x equals 8 minus 4x. You can get all terms to one side. So we get 2x squared, that's positive 2x, and then positive 4x when it comes this way. So it becomes plus 6x, and then minus 8 equal to 0. Subtract the 8. What could I do next step? Could I take out a 2? So get x squared plus 3x minus 4 equal to 0. Excuse me. And then can we do magic x for the quadratic? I need two numbers and multiply to, that's 1 times negative 4. They should add up to positive 3. Excuse me. Get your signs right. Check if it is negative 4 and 1. So the 2 will drop down. So it's x minus 4 over the 1. There's a 1 here. And then x plus 1 over 1. Using zero product property, x equals 4 and x equals negative 1. Check if you got that. Now, technically, careful. This is a rational equation. If you look at the original problem, careful. We're not done with the problem. Over there and over there, can you see? You're not allowed to divide by 0. So in other words, x cannot be 2, and then x cannot be negative 1 actually. Because plugging in either of those would make the denominator 0. So if you plug in 2, it's 2 minus 2, which is 0. If I plug in negative 1 on the right, the denominator becomes 0. So x cannot be negative 1 and x cannot be 2 because we would be dividing by 0 then. So that guy cannot be the answer. So the correct answer is actually x equals 4. It was a trick question. Okay, attempt 5 yourselves. Now, it's a good idea to rewrite it with the variable on the left side. So it's log 2 base 2 a plus 1 equals negative 3. So this is a log equation. So if you're in log form, we'll go to exponential form. So the way you do it is you cross out the word log and you push that 2 up. So we're going to exponential form. So you have a plus 1 equals 2 to the power of negative 3. Careful. What's 2 to the power of negative 3? That's really 1 over 2 cubed. I hope you remember your exponent rules. So is that basically 1 over 8? And then last step, should we subtract the 1? So it's 1 over 8 minus 1. Can we use the fraction trick? 8 times negative 1 is negative 8 plus 1 is negative 7 over 8. Okay. So look over that again if your skills are a little weak. Okay, you can pause the video, attempt 6 yourselves. So that is what is called an exponential equation. So the variable is in the exponent. So if you're in exponential form, so that's called exponential form, you'll go to log form. The way you do that is the guy all by himself gets the word log. Okay. Log is a mathematical operator. The base will become the base of the log and the power will drop down. So observe that pattern. So if I knew this, I could totally find the final answer, okay? The way you do the evaluate a log expression is this: without a calculator, you ask yourself, 2 to the power of what number will give you 1/4? Careful. 2 to the power of what number will give you a 1/4? Now remember, 2 squared is 4, but I need a 1/4. Check if the answer is -2. Okay, because 2 to the power of -2 will give you the 1/4. And last step, divide by -3. So your final answer is 2/3. Okay, go over that problem again if you need to. Question number 7. It says find the value of the following without calculator. Okay, part A is a simple, it's very similar to the question we just did. So if you have a log expression and you're not allowed to use a calculator, so you're basically asking yourself, 10 to the power of what number will give you 1,000? Repeat, 10 to the power of what number will give you 1,000? The correct answer is 3. That's it. It's a mental math problem. Okay. For B, you have a number 125 raised to a rational expression. So if you remember right, so you're asking yourself, look at the base, which is 3. So the way I do it is we ask ourselves, look at the denominator, which is 3. What number cube will give you 125? And the answer is 5. So I can write 125 as 5 cubed. So observe that logic. Oh, and over here, I'm multiplying powers. If you raise to the power, we should multiply these two, and the 3's will cancel. Aha! So really it's 5 to the power of -1, which is 1/5. Okay, let's do C. In case you've forgotten, ln of E just means log to the base E of E. Okay, that's what that really means. ln is what is called natural log. Your base is E. So here you're asking yourself, let's go over logs again. E to the power of what number will give you E? And the answer is 1. So the answer is just 1. Okay, let's do D together, or you can do it yourselves. So once again, I focus on the denominator, and I say, and I ask myself, 9 can be written as what number square? Okay, what number square will give you 9? The answer is 3. So we're going to write that as 3 square. So observe the equivalence. Can you see now we're raising to the power, so we can just multiply powers, and the 2's will cancel, because that's 2 times 3 halves. Final answer is just 3 cubed, which is 27. Ta-da! So you can do this mentally, or show a little bit of work. Okay. Let's do an absolute valued equation. You learn this in middle school or maybe algebra 1, I'm 1, but you've forgotten how to do this. So in simple language, the absolute value of what number will give you 3? Careful. Or which numbers, the absolute value of those numbers will give you 3. The correct answer, if you remember, is 3 or -3. So that could be 3 or -3. So I'm just going to solve an equation. So 2x plus 5 equals 3, and then 2x plus 5 equals -3. Those are easy to solve. Solve those yourselves. You can subtract the 5, you get -2, therefore x equals -1. Again, subtract the 5, you get -8, therefore final answer should be -4. And you can plug those values in and confirm you do get the value of 3. We'll continue in the next video. Oh, did I mention tomorrow's my birthday? Oh, sorry, today's my birthday.